Alright, this is the Lenovo Legion Go, and it's Lenovo's take on the handheld gaming PC devices that we've been seeing pop up over the last couple of years. It's a relatively new segment, so it's nice to see Lenovo doing things a bit differently, with some innovation in the space. And I think it's the most unique device in the segment so far, with a bunch of features that you don't find anywhere else. It's obviously a gaming device first, but it can actually do way more than that, because this is pretty much a mini PC with a screen attached. And because of its design, it is insanely versatile, especially when you start pairing it with some accessories. Okay, looking at the device, I think the first thing that jumps out at you is the display. Coming in at 8.8 inches, it has a 144Hz refresh rate, 500 nits of brightness, as well as a 10-point touchscreen. The touchscreen feature is not so useful in-game, but it does make it easier to navigate around the OS, and it's essential for the on-screen keyboard. Plus, it has some very useful applications outside of gaming, which I'll talk about a little later on. Colors on the display are really nice, really vibrant, but the main advantage of the Legion Go's display is definitely its size. It is really big, but I think the Legion Go still strikes a good balance between getting an immersive experience in games and watching media, while keeping the device portable. The size of the screen also adds to what makes this device so versatile. Because you're running Windows 11, you can do a lot of things outside of gaming. So I've actually been using it to watch media, as well as productivity work like document viewing and taking notes on the fly. And I probably wouldn't want to be doing that on a screen any smaller than this. In terms of brightness, I think it's pretty good. It's 500 nits, which is the same brightness you'll find on a MacBook Air. It's enough for most use cases. Definitely enough for any indoor situations and most outdoor situations, as long as you're not under direct sunlight. Alright, so the main body with the display is where all the PC components sit. On the back, you have a really handy kickstand. And on the side, you have these two detachable controllers, which is part of the reason the Legion Go is so versatile both inside and outside of gaming. With the controllers attached, you can use the Legion Go in handheld mode, which gives you the most portable experience. You also have quite a responsive touchpad on the right controller to control your cursor. Ergonomics is alright. The back of the controller wraps around to fit the position of your fingers, but because Lenovo has gone for this sleek, squared off look, the edges do dig into your hands a little bit, and I've seen some complaints about this online, but personally, I really don't find this to be that big of an issue. Alright, probably the most unique feature of the Legion Go is the fact that you can detach the controllers from the main body to give you a mouse-like experience. Flicking the switch underneath the right controller turns on FPS mode. Then, drop it into the included magnetic stand, which converts it into a mouse, of sorts. And this is meant for FPS games. Now, I like the idea behind this a lot. If you're mainly used to a PC for gaming, then it's very likely you're more accustomed to using a mouse, so this vertical controller does a pretty decent job at mimicking that motion. The Teflon on the bottom of the stand and controller gives a pretty smooth glide, but button placement is a little awkward, especially the scroll wheel, which sits quite a bit above your thumb. You'll also need to carve out some time to customize your button layout if you're using FPS mode. Games think you're using a keyboard and mouse, but obviously you have no keyboard for key presses to pick up weapons or interact with items, so you will need to map keys to the M and Y buttons on the back of the controller using the Legion Space software. Thankfully, you have the option to save multiple profiles for different layouts, but it is annoying having to set up a profile every time you want to switch between games. Of course, you can still use the detached controllers like normal controllers, and this is great if you have the space for it. Just a bit easier on the wrist and you don't have to hold the whole device. Ports wise, the Legion Go has two USB 4.0 ports, one on the top and one on the bottom of the device. Pretty flexible placement because you can access the ports on either side of the device. These ports are where you charge the Legion Go, and Lenovo does include a 65-watt charger in the box. But of course it is compatible with third-party chargers as well, which is what I normally use. These ports function just like a regular USB-C port on a PC. So you have access to a huge range of accessories like external SSDs or microphones, as well as docks or hubs, which expand the connectivity even further. So when I'm not using the Legion Go on the move, I've been using it with a dock which is connected to two 4K external displays, along with a mouse and keyboard. These docks can be a bit pricey though, so if you're looking for a cheaper option, a simple USB-C hub like this works just fine as well. And you can definitely use the Legion Go for everyday productivity tasks without an issue. For things like emailing, text editing, and document viewing, the Legion Go handles it with no problems. Although the drawback to using the Legion Go this way is that the fans are pretty audible when you have it sitting at your desk. To minimize this, I would suggest using it in power saving mode along with the quiet thermal mode. Alright, let's talk software. So on startup, the Legion Go will run Lenovo's Legion Space software, which lets you do things like open your games library as well as customize your controllers. But I think what I like the most about the Legion Go is the fact that it runs full Windows 11. Look, I know there's been some criticism about Windows 11 on a handheld device because it isn't specifically designed for this kind of form factor, and it can be a bit cumbersome navigating around, but I really like it because it's one of the reasons this device is so flexible and lets you use it as an all-in-one device. So as a gaming device, the obvious advantage of running Windows is that you have access to all the different gaming storefronts. And games work just as you would expect on a PC. But outside of gaming, because it's Windows, you also have access to a huge range of apps that you'll normally have on a PC. So that means a lot of cool possibilities. For instance, I've been using Phone Link, which comes pre-installed with Windows, and that lets me connect my Legion Go with my S24 Ultra, meaning I can now preview photos, transfer files, run apps, and even make phone calls directly from the Legion Go. And I think it's pretty cool that a portable gaming device like Legion Go can integrate so well with my tech ecosystem. I've also been using other Windows compatible apps like Google Drive, and for self-hosting fans out there, SyncThing to keep my work and game files organized, as well as Sumatra and Excel for PDFs and spreadsheeting, plus Notion and PureRef 2.0 for general organization and mind mapping. And let's talk about PureRef here. So it was PureRef that got me thinking about using the Legion Go in some different ways. So for those who don't know, PureRef is a referencing app that's a great way to collect and annotate images while planning out a project. Since PureRef introduced the ability to draw and the Legion Go has the touchscreen, I started to think, can I use this as a tablet? And the only reason I would even entertain this idea is because you can remove these controllers. Because as far as tablets go, it's way too clunky with the controllers attached, and honestly, I just don't think it'd be professional rocking up to a meeting or class with something that's clearly a gaming device. But with the controllers detached, it's pretty inconspicuous. So I picked up this stylus from Amazon, and performance was alright, but there are some caveats. The main issue is that the Legion Go only supports capacitive style styluses, meaning no palm rejection. Which means you do have to hover your hand over the screen while writing, which is a bit awkward. You're definitely not going to win any calligraphy awards, but it's responsive enough to annotate some drawings or do some quick notes. And I still think it's pretty decent if you want to quickly look over some documents. Of course, if you're after a more traditional laptop experience, there are also options with the Legion Go. I've paired it with an external monitor. These are accessories that are primarily designed for laptops, but you can definitely use them for the Legion Go for a bit of portable screen real estate, especially if it's a dual screen like the one I'm using. This is a 15.6-inch 1080p dual monitor from JSOX, so not the most pixel dense display, but fine for productivity work. From here, you can either use the controls in FPS mode as a mouse and use the Legion Go itself as a touchscreen keyboard, but I'd suggest pairing it with an external keyboard. I've been using the Logitech K400, but I also recommend the Casa pop-up desk if you want something a bit more portable. Obviously, this takes a bit more effort to set up compared to a traditional laptop, but the main advantage you get with the Legion Go is that you get a true portable gaming experience, along with the flexibility of having a laptop experience if you want to. Because, let's be real, you're not going to whip out a laptop on a bus and start gaming with a trackpad. But the issue with these external monitors is that it runs off the Legion Go's battery, which brings me to battery life. I think for me, the only limiting factor is the Legion Go's battery life. Right now, I'm getting about 1 to 1.5 hours of runtime playing AAA games in performance mode, and about 3 hours of runtime for productivity tasks, while plugged into a hub running 2 4K displays in power saving mode. I think for a portable device, I'd probably want to see a bit of a longer battery life. For me, I'd love to see an improvement in this area for the next model. I mean, we're getting some pretty power efficient chips nowadays, and I think when we get these portable gaming devices with longer battery lives and less fan noise because of that power efficiency, I think they're going to be super awesome, like a whole other level. But that's for the future. For now, I do recommend taking a portable power bank with you when you go traveling so you can extend that battery life just a little bit further. Alright, I think the Legion Go is a pretty awesome device. Being able to play AAA games while I'm on the train or on a bus is pretty incredible, but because of the way the Legion Go is designed with its detachable controllers, it really is an everything device. Alright, let me know how you guys have been using the Legion Go in the comments below. And make sure you leave a like and subscribe to support me and the channel. Alright, that's it. I'll see you guys next time.